There is one reason why Spider-Man has remained the world's most beloved superhero for over 6 decades. It isn't because he swings through skyscrapers, it isn't because he can crawl on walls, it isn't because he defeats powerful villains. It's because beneath that iconic red and blue suit is an ordinary young man named Peter Parker. A boy who struggles with loneliness, who makes mistakes, who loses the people he loves, and who somehow still finds the strength to get back up and do the right thing. That is what makes Spider-Man different from almost every other superhero, and that is exactly why Spider-Man Brand New Day feels so refreshing. For the first time in years, Marvel has stopped trying to make Spider-Man the center of the universe, and instead focused on making him the heart of a story. This isn't another movie about saving multiple universes. It isn't filled with endless cameos or fan service. Instead, it tells the story of one lonely young man trying to rebuild his life after losing absolutely everything. And honestly, that decision makes all the difference. So today, we're breaking down why Spider-Man Brand New Day might just be the best Spider-Man movie the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ever produced. This review will remain mostly spoiler-free, so don't worry if you haven't watched the movie yet. Now, let's begin. Before we talk about Brand New Day, we need to remember where Peter Parker's journey ended in Spider-Man No Way Home. At the end of that film, Peter made the hardest decision of his life. To stop the multiverse from collapsing, Dr. Strange cast a spell that erased Peter Parker from everyone's memory. Not Spider-Man, Peter Parker. That means every single person who once knew him suddenly forgot he ever existed. His classmates, his neighbors, the Avengers, his best friend Ned, even the love of his life, MJ. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that every person you've ever loved has completely forgotten you. You remember them, but they don't remember you. That is the emotional foundation of Brand New Day. The movie doesn't waste much time reminding audiences of Peter's sacrifice. Although there are a few flashbacks that revisit No Way Home, they're mainly there to ensure casual viewers understand exactly what Peter lost. And once those reminders are over, the movie begins telling a completely new chapter.
Everyone clear the area immediately! I've got you, hang on!
When Brand New Day opens, Peter Parker is living perhaps the loneliest life we've ever seen in any Spider-Man movie. He's no longer the teenager surrounded by friends. He's no longer Iron Man's protege. He doesn't have access to Avengers technology. No one waits for him after school. No one checks on him after a difficult battle. He has nobody, and that's exactly what makes this version of Peter so fascinating. For years, many fans argued that MCU Spider-Man always had someone helping him. Tony Stark, Happy Hogan, Ned Leeds, MJ, Doctor Strange, even the Avengers. Brand New Day removes every safety net. Now Peter has to survive completely on his own. He pays his own bills, lives alone, works through his own emotional pain, and continues protecting New York without expecting recognition from anyone. It's a bold, creative decision, because for the first time in the MCU, Spider-Man truly feels independent. Spider-Man is finally back on the streets. One of the biggest complaints fans had about recent Spider-Man movies was that they became too large in scale. Instead of protecting New York, Peter was saving Europe, or fighting villains from different universes. Brand New Day changes all of that. This movie brings Spider-Man back to his roots. He's stopping robberies, taking down gangs, chasing dangerous criminals through narrow city streets, swinging between skyscrapers, saving ordinary citizens, helping police officers. Exactly the kind of neighborhood hero fans fell in love with decades ago. The movie even opens with a stylish montage showing Spider-Man stopping several criminals across New York. Without giving too much away, fans will recognize familiar comic book enemies making appearances throughout these sequences. Some of these action scenes were already shown in the trailers, but watching them in context makes them far more exciting. More importantly, these scenes remind us why Spider-Man works best when his problems feel personal, rather than cosmic. The city finally loves Spider-Man. One interesting change this movie introduces is New York's relationship with Spider-Man. For years, Spider-Man lived under suspicion. People questioned him. Some blamed him for destruction. Others believed he was dangerous. But now, since Peter Parker no longer exists in people's memories, the controversy surrounding him has disappeared. The public simply sees Spider-Man as a hero. Children admire him. Citizens cheer for him. Police officers trust him. It's a refreshing change that gives the character something he rarely enjoys: public appreciation. However, even though everyone loves Spider-Man, nobody knows Peter Parker, and that's where the emotional contradiction begins. Spider-Man receives gratitude every day. Peter Parker receives absolutely nothing. The person inside the suit remains invisible. That emotional contrast quietly becomes one of the film's strongest themes. A different kind of hero. Another thing that immediately stands out is Peter's personality. Yes, he's still making jokes during fights. He's still the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But something feels different. His smile doesn't last as long. His confidence feels forced. Whenever the mask comes off, reality returns. Behind every joke is someone carrying enormous emotional weight. Tom Holland portrays that exhaustion brilliantly. Rather than delivering dramatic speeches, he allows Peter's loneliness to show through small expressions. Long pauses, quiet moments, and simple conversations. It's subtle acting, but incredibly effective. For perhaps the first time in the MCU, Peter Parker feels like an adult who has been forced to grow up much faster than he ever wanted. And honestly, that maturity makes his character more relatable than ever before.
I am totally out of control.
So while Spider-Man appears stronger than ever on the outside, Peter Parker is quietly falling apart on the inside. And that's exactly where Brand New Day begins exploring its most powerful emotional themes. But Peter isn't just dealing with loneliness. Something else is changing: his powers. And that unexpected transformation becomes one of the biggest turning points in the entire movie. We'll talk about that, along with the supporting characters, the action, and Peter's emotional journey in Part 2.